Hey there, Doc Schmidt here. So what is the deal with COVID now? Is it over? Sadly, no. But it might feel like that way in a lot of the country, and that's partly because we're doing a lot better. And there's lots of evidence to show that, but that doesn't mean that COVID is irrelevant or that we should just completely ignore it and go back to completely how we were living before. Despite what many people love to comment on my old COVID skits, COVID is still here. Even if it's not a daily topic of conversation, it's something that we still need to be aware of and worry about to some extent. I often wonder if these same people are also commenting on videos about popular topics from months ago. But just because I'm not talking about COVID vaccines very often in my videos anymore doesn't mean that they're not important. Vaccination is still the best way to protect against COVID, and it's a big reason why numbers are down. And why most of us can live in a way that's pretty similar to how we were living pre-2020. Unfortunately, it's estimated that there are around 300,000 deaths that could have been prevented by vaccination. And those are people that died after the vaccine was available to them. But anyway, what should we be doing now about COVID? Let's talk about masks first. I would guess that most places you go these days do not require a mask. I'm still required to wear one at work because I work in a hospital and I interact with a lot of people who could potentially have COVID. So what kind of mask do I wear? Well, when I'm just walking around the hospital, I wear a simple surgical mask. But when I'm interacting with patients, I wear an N95. I can get my masks for free at the hospital where I work, but for those of you who don't have that option, I want to talk about today's sponsor, BNX. BNX is a company that's based out of the United States, specifically Houston, Texas, that makes KN95 and N95 masks. I have a few examples to show here. They have a variety of styles with ear loops and then head straps, and these masks are super comfortable to wear. I've had the pleasure of trying them all out, and I can say I'm a little bit of an expert on the subject because I've worn a lot of N95 masks over the last couple of years. Not only are these masks comfortable, but they're also safe, effective, and well made. The BNX factory is FDA and CDC registered, and the N95 masks are NIOSH certified, and the KN95s are GB2626 2019 certified, which is impressive. The 95 in both of these mask names refers to being at least 95% efficient at filtering out substances from the air. N95s can block particles as small as 0.3 microns, which is really important if you're in a room where COVID has been aerosolized. So if you're looking for masks that are going to be safe, effective, comfortable, and affordable, you don't need to look any further than BNX for their variety of N95 and KN95 masks. Use the coupon code here for a discount and check out the link in the description to go to their website. But anyway, back to the video. Masks are a great option. If you're older or if you're immune suppressed or someone with significant health conditions, especially respiratory conditions, I think you should probably consider it. You can talk to your doctor about your specific case if you're in any doubt. I must admit, I don't wear a mask absolutely everywhere anymore either. But if it's somewhere where it's easy to wear a mask and I won't be having to constantly take it on and off, like at a restaurant, for example, then usually I still wear one. Like if I'm at the grocery store, for example, it's not a big deal to just wear it while you're going through picking up your things. And then I'll also obviously wear one if the business I'm going into requests it. So what else should you be doing in this COVID era? You should still be very wary of your symptoms, and any cough or cold type symptoms that you develop, you shouldn't hesitate to test yourself for COVID. It's true that since so many people are vaccinated, a lot of people really aren't getting severe COVID infections. But as we all know, it's still possible to get a COVID infection even if you've been vaccinated previously. Some of the new variants do seem to be less deadly and less likely to make you seriously ill, but in many cases they're more infectious, meaning they can be spread more easily. So it's still really important to find out if you have it so that you can isolate yourself and prevent from contributing to the spread of COVID, because you never know who you're going to spread it to. It's very easy to become complacent now that a lot of restrictions have been lifted. But just in the same way that if you felt sick before 2020, you would want to get checked out so you're not spreading something like the flu to all of your coworkers or all of your classmates. Because the key is you want to avoid spreading it to someone who might not be able to handle the virus as well as you can. And of course, the other really important action that you can take against COVID in this era is to get vaccinated. Many people are, of course, already vaccinated against COVID, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like 1 or 2 shots of the COVID vaccine is going to be enough to protect you fully against COVID for the long term, and that's why we have boosters. I know it's easy to get frustrated and become complacent about having to get 2 or 3 additional shots, but if it's recommended for you to get the additional boosters, I would highly recommend talking to your doctor about it so that you can get boosted and make sure that your protection remains strong. Remember the graph from earlier showing how many COVID deaths after the vaccine was developed could have been prevented by someone just getting the vaccine? Hundreds of thousands. Currently, the recommendation for the 4th COVID shot or the 2nd booster is for people who are 50 years or older or people who are 12 years and older and immune compromised. This is definitely something that can change in the future, so it's important to ask your doctor about it each time you go in for an appointment just to be sure that you're up to date. And then, of course, you can also keep an eye on the news or online for CDC recommendations. People who got boosted were shown to have dramatically decreased risk of getting severely ill or dying from the Omicron variant, which obviously makes a huge difference, both to you and those around you. So the purpose of this video is not to be all doom and gloom about COVID, but I want people to remain vigilant and avoid becoming complacent. We want COVID to be over, but it's not quite there yet. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Remember to check out the BNX masks in the description. Thank you for watching and consider subscribing. Thanks for your time.